Hey everybody, it's Josh from BrainTap. How's everybody doing? I just wanted to do a quick channel update on top of just some gameplay because I've just been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering lately, so I didn't really know what else to film. So just gonna film that for now. But just wanted to let everybody know how the channel's doing. First of all, a huge thank you to everyone that stopped by the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order charity stream. We raised about $250 for Feeding America, which helps fight food insecurity. So that's amazing. Thank you to everybody who donated, who showed up, who chatted, and just everything. It was amazing. It went a little longer than I expected. I think we finished the game in 9.5 hours or something like that, which is just, it was a lot, but I'm glad that we managed to do it and actually raise some money for a good cause. So that was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do some stuff like that in the future. Who knows? We'll see. But for now, I'm not really planning on doing another one anytime soon because it was a lot, and it took a lot out of me physically and just all of the mental preparation and all of the actual like media preparation that it took from myself and Chris Shriver, who, you know, shout out, love, great dude, and everybody who, you know, all my friends who came by to chat, and everybody who else who came by to chat about Star Wars and comic books and anime and all kinds of stuff in the actual text chat. You guys were great. It was a good time, and yeah, maybe in the future. Until then, what's going on with BrainTap? Well, we hit 500 subscribers recently, so that's really cool. Halfway to 1,000. We'll get there at some point, but you know, we're taking our time. Thank you very much to everyone who has left a kind message on either the midichlorians video or the Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin video. I actually just rewatched Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin for the second time because some friends of mine and my fiance had not seen it, and they loved it, and it was great watching it again, kind of knowing where it was going and catching all the references and stuff, and it's just such a great show. But thank you to everybody who commented on those videos and said nice things. It's very nice of you, especially since the Isaacin video got a little more personal than most of my other videos have. Maybe besides, I want to say, like, you know, the Your Lie in April one kind of did. The Violet Evergarden one kind of dips into there a little bit, you know, like just a tad, but not too much. But the Isaacin one got really personal at the end, which was not my intention originally, but it, you know, it happened, and people seem to respond to it. So, anyway, moving on. What's coming up for the future? So I'm happy to say we have quite a few videos upcoming really soon. We ended up scrapping, or maybe not scrapping, but shelving a video that my partner in crime on this channel, Kyle, was working on. We just didn't feel like it was right, and he wasn't necessarily proud of the research and felt like it would do a disservice to the channel, and so he shelved it for now, which is a little sad to me because I thought it was really cool, but I do understand his concerns with what it was and where it was going and things like that. So, and just given the state of the world, it was sort of about a lot of political topics and things, and we didn't necessarily feel comfortable speaking as authorities on this specific thing that we were talking about in here. Not that we would ever avoid politics for the sake of it, but we just felt like we didn't really cover, well, Kyle sort of felt like he didn't necessarily cover it correctly, and I agreed with him. Not that I was saying that his stuff was bad or whatever. I thought his stuff was great, but I agreed that, you know, maybe it wasn't the right time to do this. But in the future, it is something that possibly we could release, because I did get to see a early cut of it, and I thought it was really, really cool, and hopefully everyone will get to see it in its full glory. Kyle is working on another video though. I don't know that I want to say what it is yet, not because it's bad, but just because It's going to take a while. It's a much meatier topic about like an entire show. It gets very spoilery, and it's like a deep analysis of some character arcs through an entire very, very beloved show that I have never seen, and I'm sure I'll get slaughtered in the comments of it when they find out that I've never watched it, but we'll keep that one a secret until then. Coming up, though, a video that I've been working on for the last few weeks, which continues to balloon and bubble out of proportion, is something about Dracula, which, for those of you who've seen my A Love Letter to Universal Films video, you'll know that I just adore those films, and I adore just spooky crap and vampires and all kinds of things like that. And so I wanted to do a video about Dracula and how he's changed over the last 100 years, but I also wanted to do it in the framing device of copyright, which is going to sound very strange to a lot of you, but the Dracula story and subsequent adaptations and spin-offs and reimaginings have all sort of stemmed from the fact that Dracula as a character had early copyright battles in the form of, the film Nosferatu, and that almost getting completely destroyed because of Bram Stoker's widow, but also the fact that Dracula was never actually submitted for copyright in the United States and thus entered the public domain sometime in the 20s or 30s, somewhere around there. It's unfortunate because I tried to find the exact date when it entered public domain, but I can't because that's not on the internet or something. And it's like I could go to the United States Copyright Office, but most likely it's going to just tell me when Universal copyrighted their film, and that's different because they don't own the character Dracula, but they own, specific interpretations and movies and visuals of Dracula. It's very complicated, but we get into all that. We talk about a bunch of the Dracula adaptations throughout the last 100 years, and then we also talk about Nosferatu, we talk about Blackula, we talk about Castlevania, the anime. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff and how it changed and the trends and all kinds of stuff. The thing is, this video I thought would originally be like 20 minutes, but now I haven't even finished writing the script, and I keep doing VO and plugging things in, and it's already past 20 minutes and we're still in the 50s. So the 1950s, that is. So there's a chance this could be an hour-long video, which would pretty much make it the longest video I've ever done. Ever. Like, by a long shot. And I really want to do it just because it's a subject that I find really fascinating, but also it can be tackled from so many different angles. And it covers a lot of the stuff that we talk about on this channel. Like, we talk about, anime a lot because it's just something that I had gotten back into as an adult, but also we just talk about things that, frankly, I like. And analyzing things that I like and trying to do a positive spin on those things. But I wanted to take a very academic approach at something and be like, okay, this is, what happened with this version of Dracula, and these are the trends that led to it, and these are the movies that incorporated that, but also this is when we start to see this thing happen with the character, and sort of how public perception changed and how the myth sort of became what it is and all that stuff. And I think it's going to be cool, but we'll see. I'm sure by the end I'll be like, ugh, it's not as cool as I thought it was going to be, but you can go watch the iSkin video for all of my musings about that. But that is directly what is coming up after. And something that I had been toying with, just as a heads up, this video is not going to come for probably a while. But something I had been toying with is trying to alternate the subject matter of the channel. I'm not to say that I don't take people's suggestions to heart when they comment and say, you should talk about this. I appreciate things like that, and that's not to say that I won't ever do that. But first and foremost, the channel is always going to be, at least my videos when they're on the channel, Kyle's as well, are always going to be, what do I want to talk about? Like, I'm not really thinking about the subject matter as like, is it newsworthy right now? Is it going to get the most clicks? Is it going to do this? I'm just like, I watched this thing, or I saw this thing, or I've been thinking about this thing a lot, and I would love to talk about it from this specific angle or do a thing. Like, it's funny because people in the comments always say, I loved your review of this thing, which is interesting to me because I never would think of anything I've made as a review, even though it definitely has my opinion in it. But I wouldn't call it like a formal review. It's mostly just me talking about stuff I like, which maybe just might be, you know, devaluing it a little, but it's sort of just the way I feel about it. But, you know, people are going to watch it and come to their own conclusions. But again, I'm getting way off track. I tend to do this a lot. But the idea that I and Kyle had been toying with was to alternate subject matter on the channel so that every other video is at least about something anime or animated, if that makes sense. Just because animation is something that I really love, and Kyle, I know, also really loves. And there's a lot of things that I see on YouTube, or maybe, you know, maybe the latter, is things that I don't see people really talking about for specific things. And they're sort of things that I wish other people had done, but at the same time, it gives me the opportunity to talk about it. And I won't spoil everything that's coming up because the list of videos and ideas that we have are just growing all the time, and some of them are getting pushed back and delayed, and then other ones are getting ruminated on, and then other ones are just like so flash in the pan, or it's like, I need to talk about this right now. Like, this is exactly what I want to do right at this second, which is kind of what happened with the Dracula video. But the thinking for me, if Kyle's video can come out sometime after the Dracula video, the next video I want to work on is something that I'm just really interested in, and specifically in the fact that I've never really heard anybody talk about this movie, and that is the anime Metropolis, not the silent film, the anime film Metropolis, which you'd be hard-pressed to find on any streaming service for rent. It's really hard to find DVDs and Blu-rays of it. It's just really difficult to get a hold of, and it's this like really amazing hidden gem of Japanese animation that has like an excellent English dub and just is beautiful to look at, even though it came out in like 2004 or 2002. Like, it had like the visuals are just like so good looking, and I've literally never, and I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments, this person did a thing all about it. I've literally never seen anybody else talk about it. And I brought it up to some friends, and maybe one of them knew what it was. And I recently watched it with a few friends, and they were like, how have I never heard of this before? This is amazing. So that's probably, barring any weird changes or crazy idea that I get, Metropolis, a hidden gem of Japanese animation, will probably be the one after, after the Dracula video. Because I understand that not everybody on this channel comes here for my weird offshoot stuff. They might only really come here for the anime stuff, which that's fine. That's totally cool. I'm gonna you know, I'm gonna talk about Star Wars and I'm gonna talk about other stuff. Like I have an idea for a video about Enter the Spider-Verse. Don't want to spoil that one because that one's been in the works for a long time and it's really cool. I've got another one about Ed Wood, which is my favorite movie and just a person that I find absolutely fascinating in such a strange way that sort of links into the Isaacson video a little bit, which this Ed Wood video is actually going to be the video after I did the Isaacson one, but I felt like I probably shouldn't talk about my weird, like, I hate everything I do kind of thing, like, twice in a row, because it might be dumb. I don't know, but, you know, whatever. Regardless, going forward, that will probably be the structure of the channel and just the way that it goes. There's just so many that it's really hard to really parse like what I want to do next, because some of this stuff, it's like there's a script ready to go, but at the same time it's not necessarily the thing that's grabbing me at that particular moment. So you know, we'll see. But in the future, for the future, there are 3 videos upcoming. You know, don't be afraid, they're coming. This Dracula one, which is now currently sitting at about 20 minutes, but still has a lot more editing work to go into it, which could end up being an hour. And then we've got Kyle's video about an anime, which I don't want to spoil. And then my video about Metropolis, and then we'll see where the rest of that goes. Once again, thank you everybody who comments and likes and shows up for every video. It means the world that anybody gives a crap about the things that I have to say. I appreciate that people sort of understand, well, maybe most people understand what it is I'm going for on this channel, which is more positivity. You know, I feel like people on YouTube have this tendency to create negativity for the sake of it, to rile up an audience, you know, to create the hate mob. And I want this place to be the antithesis of that. I want this place to be a celebration of things that are good and things we like, talking about why we like them, and not riling people up into a frenzy of hate and just self-loathing. I would rather we celebrate what each other, you know, love. I want the channel to be about love, you know, spread the love. That's why the banner image says that. Anyway, I've droned on long enough, but I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with the channel, since the Dracula video is still, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks off. Depending, you know, on how quickly I can get a lot of this other stuff done, but I'm gonna estimate it's about 2 weeks to a month away, and I didn't want people to think I had died or was not making anything anymore, because that is most certainly not the case. It's just that the video I chose to make got really out of hand and got really, really big. So anyway, once again, thank you to everybody who continues to support the channel. If you would like to help out in any way, tell a friend, send them a video, have them subscribe. It helps so much more than you realize. Just leaving comments and being kind to each other. Anyways, guys, gals, everybody in between, spread the love, be kind to each other. Love you. Bye.